Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I'm Dr. Jordan. I'm your principal, and I am coming to you today out of suggestions from some of your classmates, juniors to be exact, who mentioned to me in a wonderful conversation that we had that it's tough for students because they're coming back to school after COVID, and many of the students don't know me. So I'm going to take just a little bit of time this morning to hopefully help you begin to get to know me. But I also want to make sure that we have opportunities to have a dialogue, because it's no fun when someone just talks and talks and talks about themselves and you don't get a chance to ask questions and talk about yourself. So I hope that you all will take the time to come and have conversations with me. I'm out in the West Gym lobby every morning for bus duty. I'm there from about 6:45 until 7:25. I'm in both lunches every day for lunch duty, so that's a great time to talk if you don't go off campus for lunch. And I'm usually out front for afternoon carpool from 2:25 until somewhere around 3 o'clock. Some students also send me emails and ask if they can meet with me. I'm happy to do that. Relationships are very important to me. They're my favorite part of the job, so I always want to make that a priority, and I do place a high level of importance on building a school community, and I know that we can't do that if we don't take the time to get to know each other. And getting to know each other, it does take time. It's not something that you can just snap your fingers and make happen. It takes a lot of time to build relationships, and I am willing to put in the time to build those relationships with you, and I hope that you will take the time to build a relationship with me as well. So I wanted to also say that on Friday of this week, in both lunches, again, based on a student suggestion, we will be having a town hall. So you will be able to ask me questions. You can ask me anything you want. You can ask me what my favorite class was in high school, what my least favorite class was in high school. Did I ever get suspended from school? Did I wear tank tops? Did I violate dress code? All the things. You can ask me whatever you want. So we'll host those during both lunches on Friday. So that's a great chance to talk as well. But again, that's more of a one-way conversation, and for us to build relationships and get to know each other, it really needs to be a two-way conversation. So my goal again for today is just to tell you a little bit about myself to get the conversation started, and maybe some of the things I talk about today would be a way for you to come up and start a conversation with me. Maybe you'll hear something that we have in common. Maybe you'll hear something from me that you have more questions about, and I'm going to try to keep it under 15 minutes so that I don't bore you too much, because again, it's hard to listen to people talk a lot. So I am, as you know, your principal here at Enloe. I've been here since March. Before Enloe, I was at Moore Square Middle, and I was at Moore Square for 6 years. Had a great time there, loved being downtown, loved being in that community of downtown. There's a lot of energy there. I do like going to cities like New York, so to me, being at Moore Square was kind of like being in a little city. So I had a lot of fun there and met a lot of wonderful people, teachers, and families. And some of those families are here at Enloe, which is a perk of coming to Enloe. Before Moore Square, I was at Underwood Elementary, also kind of downtown, close to my house. I worked at Underwood as the principal there for 8 years. So 6 years at Moore Square, 8 years at Underwood. That was an awesome place to work. Like I said, it was close to my house. I could walk to work. And again, met a lot of wonderful families there, a lot of great teachers there. Some of the families that I worked with at Underwood are at Enloe now. So that's another cool thing, a cool part about being the principal at Enloe. Before Underwood, I was at Lincoln Heights Magnet Elementary. So that's down in Fuquay. And when I worked there, it was a community model magnet, which meant that we had a reduced class size and our focus was on building community. So again, that's a common theme for me throughout my career in the schools that I've worked in, and community is very important. And certainly at that school, I saw the advantages and the benefits to having a sense of community within a school. So I've carried that with me. That was my first principalship, and I was at Lincoln Heights for 8 years. Before that, I was a teacher at Bug Magnet Elementary. So that was awesome. I taught 4th and 5th grade at Bug. Bug, of course, is very close to Enloe. So everything kind of connects. I've always taught or worked, either taught or been an administrator at magnet schools. And I love the magnet program, and I know you guys too do also, or you wouldn't be at Enloe. Bug at the time was a creative arts and science magnet, so students got to take arts electives every day. So to be able to see students now who have participated in magnet programs throughout their career and see the talent that has been built as a result of being in magnet programs is thrilling for me. And I think it makes school a lot more fun when you can engage in the arts, especially, but also those elective choices when you have a little bit of control over your daily schedule and you can pick things that interest you and you can cultivate your own talent. Oh my gosh, I just think it's such a wonderful opportunity. I really wish that I had experiences like that when I was in school, which is a nice segue for a few minutes for me just to talk to you about my school experience. So my parents split up when I was really young, when I was 5, and as a result of that, we moved around a lot. So I changed schools a lot, and I would say that that's one of the things about my school experience that stands out the most. It was challenging to always be changing schools. When I was in 6th grade, I started at one school. We moved up to Northern Virginia. I enrolled in another school. We moved back to North Carolina. I went back to the same school I was at, and before the school year was over, we moved back to Virginia. And I can remember being mortified and begging my mom not to make me go back to the same school the second time within the same school year. I was so embarrassed. Because there would always be a lot of questions, that would come up. Why are you back? I thought you moved. And it was a volatile time growing up, and my parents worked really hard, and they were great parents, but just there was a lot of volatility and there was a lot of movement, and it caused me some embarrassment, and it caused me also to not be a very successful student because I was always moving around. I can remember in 3rd grade when I moved one time, the school that I went to, they were already doing cursive writing, and I did not know how to write in cursive. And the teacher wrote the assignments on the board in cursive, and I could not read cursive writing. I overcame those challenges, but my report cards from school before college were nothing to be proud of. I did fail some classes. I did sometimes skip classes because I wanted to be with my friends and wanted to engage in social activities. And I do think part of that was because of some things that I was missing outside of school. So fast forward to my senior year, actually my junior year in high school, I was living with my mom up in Northern Virginia, and I got into some trouble because I was out driving in an area that I was not allowed to drive because traffic's crazy up there, and my mom was like, yeah, you're not allowed to go on that highway, yeah. So I was on that highway, and I think I was driving to go see a boy that I liked, and I had a car accident. And I didn't get hurt, thank goodness, but my mom was very upset because I could have gotten hurt, and she sent me to live with my dad in North Carolina. And as a result of that, I didn't have any friends, and I didn't really have anything to do, and so really the only thing I could do was my work at school because I didn't have anywhere to go on the weekends because I didn't know anyone. And it turned out to be a good thing because I actually kind of got my life together and got myself into a position where I could actually get into college. Once I got to college and I was on my own and things were under my control and I couldn't really blame anybody else, or I wasn't really dependent on anybody else, it was kind of all up to me, I started to get a taste of academic success. It started with getting some B's, and I was like, oh wow, I got a B. I wonder if I could get an A. Wouldn't that be great to get an A? By the time I finished college, I did get straight A's the last semester, which was awesome. And as you guys know, I went into teaching, so it just kind of evolved from there. But I say all this to you to say that when I see students in high school doing things, I don't want you to think that I can't relate. I made some choices in high school that probably were not the best choices for me. They probably didn't lead me to be successful, but sometimes that's part of the process of growing up and figuring things out. I want to let you guys know that there was a point in time during high school when my mom was married to this guy that I didn't like at all. I didn't respect him at all, and he cut out an article from the paper about discipline, and he brought it into my room, and he said he was going to hang it on the wall of my room. And I was so, I don't even know what the right word was, it just crushed my soul because I didn't respect him. He was not a good person, and yet he was coming at me as if, that he was going to have authority over me, and he wanted to hang this in my room. And it just, I'll never forget that moment of just, I don't think I've ever disliked someone or felt so just hurt in my life. And so I've thought a lot about that because I recognize that I'm coming into Enloe and I don't have relationships with a lot of you. And so if I say to you in the hallway, hey, pull your mask up, I hope it doesn't feel to you the way it felt to me that day when he wanted to hang that discipline article from the Washington Post up in my bedroom. I certainly never mean to humiliate anyone or make anyone feel powerless. I want you guys to wear your masks because I don't want you to get sick. And I want us to be able to keep school open because I see how hungry we all are to reestablish those connections and the sense of community. So that's just to say that I do recognize that sometimes when adults are telling you what to do, it feels really yucky. And I'm going to work very hard to get to know you so that the only interaction you have with me every day is not me telling you to hurry up and get to class or telling you to pull your mask up. That's not who I want to be as your principal. I want to be somebody that knows you. I want to be someone that supports you. I want to be someone that encourages you. And when you look back on your time at Enloe, I want you to remember the adults that are here in a good way as people who support you and are standing on the sidelines cheering you on, even when you're wearing, a wonderful creative outfit. One of the students that I've met with over the past week or so suggested that I share with you guys a picture from when I was in high school so that you can see the way I dressed when I was in high school. So I'm going to work on digging that up and see if I can share that with you. But I love the creativity and I love the sense of advocacy and the passion and the activism at Enloe, and I do not want to do anything to discourage that whatsoever. I think you all are an amazing student body. I'm uplifted every day as I see your talent, and even when you're doing things that aren't necessarily things that are following the rules, there's still a part of me that loves that and enjoys being able to experience that. And I hope that you'll know if I do give you feedback about skipping class or being late, that it's really coming from a place of wanting you to have all the choices that are available to you in life so that you can live the life that you want. So that is plenty of talking. You guys are awesome for listening, and I look forward to seeing you at the town hall during both lunches on Friday, hopefully. And if not there, come talk to me in the hallways. Have an awesome day. Thank you. Go Eagles!